by the 9 and 4. Welcome to the library. In this entry, we are going to take a quick look at the geography of Jamamar herself, otherwise known as the core realm or home realm. As always with these early entries, this is but a brief overview of these locales, each of which have thousands of years of history. As such, they shall be expounded upon further in later entries. That said, let us begin with a brief look at the planet of Jamamar herself. In total, larger than the planet Earth, which you may be familiar with, at a diameter of 10,000 miles. It, however, boasts a similar gravitational force as the aforementioned poorly named planet, due to the fact that Jamamar has vast cavernous reaches collectively known as the Deeps in her crust. Who names a world covered in mostly water, in essence dirt? Wouldn't mud be more accurate? Toltekians, am I right? 3 moons orbit the planet. Nodell, a barren moon bereft of life. Gavain, a fully inhabited planetoid, hidden from Jamamar for millennia, and now a full partner to the home realm, and the realms at large. And lastly, the newest addition to the skies of Jamamar, Ipaka, perfectly balancing and negating Gavain's orbit and tidal effects, leaving Nodell the lone actor on the tides and seas of Jamamar. Jamamar, in her elliptical orbit and multi-axis tilt and spin, experiences even seasons across the globe, with the poles being the only consistent environs, consistently cold and inhospitable to most life, as well as a perfect 24-hour solar rotation. With the exception of the poles, the rest of the home realm experiences the full range of seasons, with the only exceptions being those places with the magical or other means to maintain a different climate. Polaron being among the most famous example. Its weather is nearly always temperate, with partly cloudy days and a scattering of pleasant showers in the pre-dawn hours, as well as conducive winds for ships both coming and going. With that brief planetary overview in place, let's begin to look at some of the larger land masses that make up the home realm of Jamamar. Starting with the lands of Solaris, home to the flame-forged human empire of Domnitra, the military training city-state of Tranus, as well as the grand city of Polaron, a city of trade, entertainment, and industrial production. Other places of note on Solaris are the city of Crater's Drag, a vile den of criminal activity and illicit trade, deep in the lawless lands in the southern parts of Solaris, as well as the infamous Drunkia, an ever-shifting city of ramshackle bars and taverns, home to many retired warriors and soldiers, adventurers, or others that just wish to drink away their years in relative peace. If you don't count the bar fights, of course. Moving on to the larger continent of Botania, home to the Elven Empire of Avlin, centrally located in the great woods that cover the central third of the continent, the dwarven capital of Undergate, deep in the mountains to the east, and the ruins of the once mighty as it was foul necropolis in the western end of the same mountain chain that cover about a third of the continent. Crossing the vast plains that make up the final third of the lands of Botania, the halfling and gnomish caravans bring entertainment and trade goods to villages and cities alike. On the northwestern coast is a sleepy little fishing village known as Wywood, a typical example of so many other villages across the realm. Arena, home to the magic colleges, is tucked away on the northern coast. Continuing around the map as we have been, let us next look at the land known as Fulgeria, a land once shrouded in dark fear, as the lands were most deeply scarred by the Chaos Demon Vanson's reign. After ages of healing by Her Majesty Genevieve, Empress of the Gods, and her most devoted allies, not the least being Roth, the god of nature's calm, have returned it to to its proper form, mending what was known for millennia as the lost swamps of Fulgeria, where once entered, none returned, into a massive, old-growth forest with Roth's Grove at the very center. Across the plains between the forest and the western mountains, the Analar capital of Talion can be found, along with the ancient bastion of Fort Falconflight on the opposite southern coast. Moving on to some of the major island chains and nations that call them home, first among them we have the Dragon Tier Isles, a long chain of islands that are home to the Zero-Brinthian Alliance, a multi-island confederation known for their personal arms production, as each citizen of the Alliance is given a personal Crisp pistol as a gift by the government. They are among the newest of the sovereignties to form in the home realm. Next, there is the island chain of Trin, once home to the Magic Academies, now is home to the nation of the Three Isles, as well as the nation of Adelin, a lycanthrope nation, a creation of Her Majesty Genevieve, whom is, among other things, the goddess of lycanthropes. The remaining isles of the chain are mostly uninhabited, save for monsters or other dangerous folk that find safety in such places. However, on the furthest end of the chain, we find the home of the vast entertainment and casino island of Old Dominion, a focus of deals and fortunes won and lost every day, with dozens of ships, both sea and air, and even landing strip for interstellar craft, in a constant flow to and from the island daily. Billions of years flow in and out of the island, securing its place among the powers of the home realm. Next, we have the mobile landmass known as the Isle of Mist, home to Dragwa Home City and their nation, living in an uneasy peace with the sovereignty of the Necrotai, a nation of free will, anti-slavery undead, whom are famously responsible for the destruction of the aforementioned necropolis, in a difference of religious principle. The Isle of Mist travels the seas of the home realm in a regular pattern, coming within a week's sail of each of the major ports multiple times a year. It is ringed in high mountains, which are home to the Necrotai, and a vast central desert filling the interior, with the home city at its very center. This landmass is a creation of the Analar during the times of the War of Feather and Scale. Centrally located on the map, and from a similar time period, the mountain acrology of Cursed Mount is avoided by nearly all traffic, as its halls are stalked by the dark kin of the elves, cursed traitors who slew their king in ages long past. While many accepted the offering of reunion from Avlin, many more are attempting to hold on to their vast underground empire, their hate for their separated kin greater than their desire to be free of the constant wars and struggles found in the deeps. North of Solaris, and the last notable of the islands to be covered here, Dragon's Haven stands as the largest Dragon Knight outpost in the world. These warriors, bonded to their draconic patrons, providing aid and assistance to the various towns and nations across the realms. Still led by the original founders of Dragon's Haven, Lord and Lady Genovan, Dragon's Haven serves as a reminder of how duty and service to the realms can gain fame and legendary status to those who stay the course. Leaving the surface of Jamamar, our last landmass is that of the floating continent of Criterion, home to the Crystons as well as the Dream Elves, who live deep within the mountains of the continent. Its path is controlled by the Omnimine deep within the capital city of Crishold. The floating landmass appears as nothing but cloud formations to any looking from below. Criterion is among the least visited nation by outsiders, with the exception of Crishold itself, a center of high Crystech and sales thereof. Anything from a Crys gun to hunt with, to vessels that ply the stars, Criterion is the place to find it. And with that lofty finish, I again thank you for your time, attention, and continued interest in the realms. By the 9 and 4, be well, take care of yourself and each other. I will see you on your next visit to the library.